welcome back to the vlog, and today it's a very sunny day. Well, it's kind of got dark clouds and light clouds, like no clouds, basically. You know what I mean. It's quite nice today. So I thought for today I have a little bit of an idea, and it is called Vlog Talk. I don't know if that's backwards or not on the camera. We'll find that out in the editing phase. But that being the case, what we're going to be doing today, I'm going to be talking a little bit about Iceland. Now, obviously, this will be a weekly kind of thing, and I haven't worked out on a day yet, so it'll probably be out on a Thursday. So, I'm considering that. But, that being the case, let's get into Iceland. Okay, so the first thing that I really want to point out about Iceland is it is bloody cold in the winter. So, and to be honest, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that it's going to be cold. Okay, so just bear in mind wear actual gloves and jackets. Make sure that you're wearing the right clothes before you actually go to Iceland. Another thing you want to note is they have their own currency, which is krona, and it is approximately like 1,000 krona for like about 7 odd quid. So obviously you can double check that before you go on like Google. Like you can just type that in and you can find that one out yourself. Now let's get into so the first thing we're going to be starting off with is travel. And with travel, basically, I flew with British Airways, and personally, I love British Airways because they've got really nice comfy seats, even if you're in an economy class. And flying over there in January, I actually had like no one sat next to me for the entire flight, so I could put my feet up on like 3 seats. So I was just sat there watching movies, and I thought it was absolutely lovely to just fly over there. And when I arrived, so the first thing we're going to be starting off with is travel. And with travel, basically, I flew with British Airways, and personally I love British Airways because they've got really nice comfy seats, even if you're in an economy class. And flying over there in January, I actually had like no one sat next to me for the entire flight, so I could put my feet up on like 3 seats. So I was just sat there watching movies, and I thought it was absolutely lovely to just fly over there. And when I arrived, you got this amazing scenery of yourself actually coming into Iceland. You actually got this amazing scenery of you coming into Iceland, and you could see the mountains in the background, or volcanoes, yeah, and you could see yourself proper flying down, and it was just seriously, it was one of those ones where you would have to see it to believe it in order to thingy. But here is but obviously I'm showing you some footage as of now in order to give you an idea of what it actually is like going into Iceland. Now, once I had arrived, I actually did not know what to do, because obviously I didn't have a car over there, so I couldn't just drive somewhere. And so I decided to take the bus. Now, you have to be very careful when you take the bus, because I was staying in a place called Keflavik, which is about an hour's journey from Reykjavik. And that is right near the actual airport. But when they say it's right near, it's a good 15, 20 minutes away by getting there. I got taken to the other side of Keflavik, where I thought my hotel was, because obviously I don't know where the area is, and I actually managed to go find a B&B, and they called me a taxi, and I got to the right place. When I actually got into my hotel room, it wasn't actually that spectacular. I wasn't expecting anything spectacular because it was kind of a more or less a last minute thing. And granted, I actually was like, I thank the heavens I actually brought a travel kettle with me. Number one tip, I always bring a travel kettle just in case they don't have a kettle in the room. So at least I can have a cup of tea. Now, other than that, so bearing in mind from all of that, just make sure where you're actually going to be going and actually have a plan in place in order to actually get to the place. Unless you want to do a little adventure like I did and take about two-ish odd hours to get to my hotel, which was really about 15 minutes. Now, let's talk about food. Now, food out in Iceland isn't actually that different from where it is in like England, to be fair. And you could buy pretty much anything that you could get in England, but you obviously it's going to cost you a bit more. And I found this out by going over to the local Subway. I paid about 21 quid for a Subway, and that was with one bottle of Mountain Dew, and it was a foot long, and that was literally £21. Yeah, that was a lot of money just for a Subway, but I was very hungry that night, so obviously I decided to actually do that. So make sure that you are budgeting accordingly in order to actually, go to Iceland, because it is a lot more expensive than you think. The other thing that I would like to talk about is this thing which is fermented shark, and you can find this in some of the markets, and they sell you a little bit of alcohol with it, like a little bottle of alcohol. And fermented shark is exactly what it is. It is pieces of shark which is fermented. Now, when you open this, hold your nose because it smells bad. If you're really adventurous and you want to try this, hold your nose because it smells disgusting. Other than that, it actually tasted not half that bad. I don't know about any of you guys, but if you have tried it, then I actually rather enjoyed it. It was actually quite nice after I got past the smell. Now, really, you're supposed to have it and then have a bit of the alcohol to go with it. But I actually don't drink alcohol, so I just had the shark, and it did leave a bit of a weird sensation in my mouth. So if you actually do want to try it, I would highly recommend that you actually have a drink on hand or something to take the taste out of your mouth afterwards. But that being said, let's get into the activities you can do there. Activities. Now, things that you could do there would be like going to the Blue Lagoon, but that's usually quite full in the peak months. I didn't actually go to the Blue Lagoon as it was already booked, and but I did manage to go see a volcano. And going over to the volcano, it was a nice little tour that I found in my hotel room, and they have a bus which takes you all the way over to it. So it wasn't that hard on getting back to and from the hotel in order to do that. Now, that was actually quite amazing, and I actually managed to get myself a little bit of like volcanic rock to go with it. Now, I've kept this as a souvenir because I keep a rock from every country that I go to just as a little memento. Now, Iceland, other things that you could do is they've got a wide variety of museums, and if you're into like museums and all that stuff, I highly recommend that you do that. Also, there is a thing called the Reykjavik market thing that they have around there, and it is worth your time to just go around there and see all the weird stuff that they sell over there, as it is like, it's quite a sight to behold, to be honest, than ordinary markets. But that's just my opinion. obviously. Now, all in all, I think Iceland was a brilliant destination, but I personally believe that it was more swayed towards a couples thing as opposed to just a single bloke just going on his own and going for an adventure. Uh, yeah, it was absolutely lovely though, and other than that, I did manage to see the Northern Lights, which did take my breath away. But unfortunately, I didn't have my camera on hand when I went for the walk, and to get a picture of the Northern Lights, I just saw them with my own eyes. I was like, I wish I had my camera right now so I could show everybody, but unfortunately, I did not. Now, I will probably rate Iceland for just myself going on my own. It was probably about a 7 out of 10, and yeah, I actually thoroughly recommend going to Iceland. Just be wary of the expenses just be wary about how much money you're actually spending, because food and drink cost a hell of a lot when you go to Iceland. Now, that being said, this is the end of vlog talk. Now back to our regularly scheduled vlog. Now, to be honest, I actually wanted to start this vlog talk thing so I could talk about all the stuff that I get up to as well. And to be honest, yeah, I've got a few ideas that I actually want to talk about, like Dublin. I want to talk about why I'm making the game and all that stuff. So I thought this would be a good way of getting my perspectives across and my experiences. And I could turn it into like a little series of the stuff that I've already done, and it'd be kind of like a review, but not really a review, but part of the vlog at the same time. It's a little mini series within the vlog, and I thought that would be a cool way in order to actually do that. So I've actually got a new notepad, and anything that I think of that I think would be interesting, I'm going to put in there. So, that being the case, I'm going to have some food now because I'm bloody hungry, and we'll be going to work today. We are 12 till... No, we're not 12. We are 4 till midnight. So, that being the case, I shall see you momentarily. On the way to work. On the way to work. It's looking like it's going to be a good day. I'll wear up a jacket because it might rain again, but other than that, it seems like it's going to be a good day. I think it will be a good day. So, that being the case, let's hope for a good shift. I shall see you when I'm finished. So, be well. There is literally no point in actually having a light on my bike at the moment because the moon is just so bright, it just illuminated the track. There is literally no point of having my bike lit up. Nearly a full moon. That would be good. I look forward to that. Anyways, work was pretty good. Just a standard shift. We finished a little bit later, even though we have 4 of us, but we did a good job, so at least I can leave knowing that. So, that being the case, I'm going to head off home now, and I will talk to you when I get in. Bye bye. I forgot to vlog, didn't I? Yeah. That being the case, I shall see you guys in the next vlog tomorrow, which is today. Bye bye.